To listen to me anyway. So thanks. Thank you there. Well, we do have some malfunctions, you know, not a wardrobe malfunction. And I need to get a picture of you. I didn't get a picture of you when you did your performance. The PAO people, I sent them a, like the handbill. They've all been getting the handbills, you know, with the picture here. They've been coming into your email. I had some complaints. It takes about 10 minutes to load the things. They're about 2 megabytes. But one of the PAO people said, well, I'd like to come to that program. Only thing, the generals invited us all to go to the big auditorium. And there's a conflict there. So I said, what we'll do here, we're going to make a DVD, a music video. So we just may be all over the world with this program, you see, because we're going to edit it very heavily when I'm on chord and we're all on message. But the next talk about Eric, and it has to do with this song. Now, my hero was Ricky Nelson. In fact, if you remember, there was a program called Ozzie and Harriet. It was on black and white TV before the days of color. It was almost as popular as I Love Lucy. And so you would see on a weekly basis this young family, Ozzie, Harriet. I don't know what Ozzie ever did. He never went to work, but he was always there on the program, being the father to David and Ricky Nelson. And so Ricky started out about 9, 10 years old, and you saw him grow up till he got to be about 18. Well, as I'm told, he had a date with this young lady out in Hollywood, and she said, this was Elvis's era, she said, you know, this Elvis Presley, he is really something. Well, Ricky said, you know, I could do that. I think I could play the guitar and perform like that. So that was the reason that Ricky Nelson brought his guitar onto the set and sang that song, I'm Walking. It was a Fats Domino song that Ricky did, and it was a national hit. Well, he had many other hits. I wish he were still alive today because I think he would have contributed so much more. But this is one of the songs that I liked a lot. And I've adapted the lyrics, of course, and you may recognize the song. I used to think my healthy heart needed no care at all. You recognize the song? Poor little fool. But then I could not walk a mile, too tired to even crawl. It was the food. Oh yeah, it was the food. Ah, oh yeah, it was the food. Oh, it's the food. Now the next and last verse, thankfully. The next year my strength was gone, junk food had done me in. But then I changed my ways one day, and I'm no longer where I've been. No more a fool. Oh yes, I'm not a fool anymore. Hey, wait a minute, you all are not abiding by my rule. No clapping, please. But Eric, I'm going to bring on Mr. Eric Lewis, and I didn't know Eric. Larry introduced me to him. And we needed one guy that was a real robust, powerful guy, and this is Eric. And he's going to talk to us about exercise and some physical things. So we wanted to honor, we got to have everybody on their album. And though this is Eric's album, one of my favorite rock and roll singers of the 50s and 60s. And so Mr. Eric Lewis has now become Mr. Sam Cooke Lewis. Bring him on, Eric. Well, Elvis comes back to follow you up there, Eric. And this is a song that I really appreciate. Bear with me. This is going to be for my benefit more than yours. It's a song called Marie's the Name of His Latest Flame. Elvis did this one. It goes something like this. A very old friend came by today, said he was telling everyone in town about the new love he had found, and Marie's the name of his latest flame. Now that's not what I really wanted to sing, but here's the new lyrics for it. Okay, here you go. A very old friend came by today, said he was telling everyone in town about the new diet he had found. And low fat's the aim of this new fame. Found that up. He talked and he talked, and I heard him say that his new diet would even give you long hair, the slimmest, trimmest body anywhere. Low fat's the name of his new diet's fame. And now the chorus. He was gone and still his words kept returning. Else was there but me to do but cry. This is not going well. Would you believe that just last year my weight was in control? Now look at me, I'm not gonna be thin eternally. And low fat's the name of his new diet's fame. Let's get right along with the program here. Now, that's one you really shouldn't have clapped for. And the next performer, I enjoy these because each one of our guest performers doesn't know exactly who I'm going to feature them as. And you think of Andre Sylvester, our branch chief over there in the SES, and you think, well, look and think of all the rock and rollers throughout the long history and who you would select Andre to be. And I thought about it, and this came to my mind. I had gone with my wife down to the Grand Theater in Galveston, and one of their favorite programs is to bring back these old timers. You know, they had Paul Anka there one time. Oh, he put on a terrific show. Most of you don't know who Paul Anka is, but the audience averaged 75 years in age. And I was one of the youngsters. And so then after Paul came, we had this next guy, and I think this ought to be Andre. And I like him real well. Recently, he's run into a little bit of difficulty. Glenn and Glenn, remember Hee Haw? No, you don't remember Hee Haw. But he did this folk music and so forth. He's an instrumentalist of the highest order. But of course, Galveston, he sang Galveston and so forth. And by the time I get to Phoenix and Wichita linemen and all, mostly, I guess, country and western songs. But he had this one song, and I'm going to conclude Andre's performance with it. But Andre, come on up, and he's going to talk about walking around JSC, driving around JSC, and let's pay attention, because this could be our lives. So Andre, come on and give us your program.
Okay, well, I think we're falling into the button trap here.
Left one.
Okay, well, here are some pictures that illustrate challenges I think that we see on a daily basis here at Johnson Space Center. And one of the biggest challenges is, watching out. If you're a driver, it's watching out for pedestrians. If you're a pedestrian, it's watching out for the cars. And if you look in the here's a common occurrence, and I would say right here in front of Building 32 is probably where I see it a lot, is that people go walking across the street outside of the crosswalk, and they don't really have a good gauge of how fast the car is going. So they're thinking, well, I'm going to get to this spot maybe before that car does. Okay, here's a case where someone's actually using a crosswalk, maybe over here in the intersection close to Building 44. They're thinking, oh, I'm going to get across here, but there's this eager driver waiting to turn left to try to get out to the front gate. Here we are going out to the parking lot, and sometimes we're not observant of cars that are about to move, themselves trying to, meet that date, at the restaurant or something like that. So they're ready, revving up and backing up here, and of course you're not watching them backing up. And then the last one here is a situation where you. What was that? Speak up.
I said, is that Walt down there?
Anyways, you're maybe walking or riding a bicycle down a sidewalk. You're blocked by a building or something, and then here comes a car down there. This is probably a problem closer over to the shuttle mission simulator over at and basically watch.
That's right.
I also wanted to say, as a singer and performer in this very room over the years, I wanted to say that Jerry Woodfill is doing an outstanding job today. So let's give him a big hand.
Well, Andre, I'm going to honor that nice comment you had about me with a song. And I think it really speaks to what you just shared with us. You did an excellent job. The reason I asked Andre to do that, one reason is he asked me to do this. Then he told me, he says, I'll help you. Now that's what I appreciate, a person that gives you an assignment. Then he says he'll help you. And so, you know, I had an overwhelming response when I asked for volunteers to do these talks. And so I asked for your help. And Andre was real good to help me out. And the reason I thought of him is because when I first saw Andre, and his twin brother, by the way, how's he doing? Is he
doing fine up in Portland, Oregon?
He's in Portland? I thought he was up in North Texas.
He moved on today.
Okay, well, these guys are twins, and I remember Andre, I'd always see him walking back and forth across the campus. I said, this man has to know about safe walking at JSC because he's still alive. But here's your song, Andre, and it's called Turn Around, Look at Me. This is a very romantic song. There was a group called the Letterman, way back in, I guess, in more of the 70s and the 60s, and these guys had a very airy, just lush, harmonic sound. Did anybody ever heard them? But they're very good. Well, they had this song after Glenn Campbell made it famous. And it was someone's walking behind you, turn around, look at me. You just imagine it, you know. This is a very romantic setting, you know, when, you know, a young person and looking to date and so forth. And does she see me? Or she thinks, does he see me? That's the idea. Well, for today's talk, it's, does that driver see me? Or does that pedestrian see the car? So this is the idea. Now here's the lyrics. Now you gotta listen to the lyrics, you know. Don't pay attention to the tune so much, but the lyrics, okay? There is someone. That's how they did it on the record. Driving beside you. Turn around. Look for him. There is someone beside your work car. Look around or you'll hit him. He is the driver who really sees you. He'll tell you're to blame with his hand. Or more inappropriately. This is terrible. Turn around, turn around, look at him. Couldn't. Amen. That's all I could do for the last line. Okay. Now, before we get our next performer on, who's going to be pictured in this next album cover, let me warn you, this is perhaps the most intriguing talk that's coming up, one you must not miss. You know, it's just beautiful what you can do with these new graphical tools. This is basically Roy Orbison's album. And we took each one of our performers over there. Leslie Hulk had this very archaic Sony digital camera, 640 by 480. And that's Mike taken. And then we cut his face out and we just scribed. You see that hair is not Mike. That hair is really from Mike. Actually, I think it was Roy's wig. But and nevertheless, now the beauty of this is that we put Mike's face in there, but Mike had to have the shades on to give it the real attraction. So we cut and pasted Roy's shades and glasses and put them back on Mike's face. Now the miracle of it is that really Mike and Roy look about the same. They could have been twin brothers and Roy didn't even need to do this. But now every rock and roll show always has an audience participation song. You think, oh no, not this. Well, we will not be remiss in not having ours today. And so I'm going to help you with it, and nobody's going to have to solo. But Roy was a master of the dum 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 dumby doo wahs and the oh yeah 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 yes. And so you folks are going to be backup singers for me, who's going to perform the song "Don't Be the Lonely." It's really only the lonely, but we're talking about identity theft. And the idea being is somebody steals your identity, you don't want to be lonely and the only one, you know. So here we go. Now, Andre, I'm going to have your help. Would you kind of come up here and kind of, Andre is an accomplished singer, and he does choir work and so forth at this church and probably at a nightclub somewhere around here. I won't say which one. So there's two parts in this, and I'm going to park the water right here. Okay, Carolyn, you guys are going to be the, Rondies are going to be the dum 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 dumby doo wahs. All you guys are dum dum dum. Three dums and a doo wah. You got that? It's sometimes difficult. I'd write it down, but you think they can? Okay, ready? Now it's going to be done in the chord D F. And dum 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 dumby doo wah. Once more.
Dum 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 dumby doo wah.
Okay.
All right.
Now you guys are not going to be alone. There's going to be another support group over here. And guess what? You guys are going to be the oh yeah 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 yes. And Andre, you want to lead them as well? Sure. And then, you know, pull on this group at the appropriate time, and then let these folks come in at their moment, okay?
Y'all need your opportunity to practice.
Okay. Now this is going to be, this is a higher pitch. This is a G minor. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Wonderful. Once more. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Come on now, let's hear some volume.
CV singers out there. Let's get it up.
Okay, so now we're going to start this thing. First, one dum 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 dumby doo wah, then a oh yeah 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 yeah. Do it once more. Dum 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 dumby doo wah. Oh yeah 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 yeah. Then again. Dum 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 dumby doo wah.